Major, just from Thursday, can you give us an update on the quarterback situation moving forward with De'Eric out now?
Yeah, we'll have to start the game the way we finished it. I don't want to be too formal, but De'Eric this season has been incredible for us. I mean, for us, for himself, for his team. Just it's been so fun to watch him and his level of dedication to the team, his teammates, the level he's played at, how he's brought others with him, how he's inspired us as coaches, just how tough he is, how much he loves to win. You just hate to see that happen, and he's going to bounce back from it. I know it because I've been around him and been fortunate enough to be around him, and I know what kind of person he is and how he'll respond. So I know he'll be fine, but we've got great quarterbacks in that room. And Clayton Tune has done a great job. Quentin Dormity's a great quarterback as well, and both of those guys will get prepared this week and be ready to roll for Friday.
On De'Eric, did you get a chance to? We saw it was non-contact. It had nothing to do with the earlier slip on the concrete. Did you ever find out if there was any more to it?
I don't know that. I don't know that. There's some opinions that maybe it could have happened on that fall, and that when he took a step on the field later, it changed something different in the way the knee's constructed, and it actually showed up. I have no idea. I have no idea. I know I heard someone say he fell, and then I saw him continue to jog afterwards, and I thought, okay, that's happened. Sometimes, in stadiums you'll see guys slip and slide and stuff on their cleats, but he seemed fine, and then he came off the field the next play, and I knew when he started to come off that he couldn't play because he's going to stay out there. That's just, if you're around him, that's the type of young man he is.
How was De'Eric's mood, and how was he after he got the news of what the final injury was, and is there any kind of timetable and all that in terms of recovery for him?
Yeah, he has a very strong faith, and he knows that that he's not going to be put in a situation or be stuck in a situation where he's not going to be provided a way out and be able to work himself into a great situation. So he has a good head on his shoulders, and he's going to be fine. He's down a little bit, and I sensed it a little bit Saturday, because he was talking about trying to play, and I was like, you can't, and it's really hard. It's sad to read that kind of text message, and you can tell it's just in him and it's boiling in him to play. But I know he's very tough-minded, and he's going to take that and he'll flip it in the next 3, 4, 5 days and turn it into rehab and being ready, and he'll be better than ever. No, I think it's just kind of touch and go. It's obviously it's not here in the next few weeks that he'd be able to just turn around that quick. So whether it's I think that's something that as the rehab process gets further along, maybe 4 weeks into it, then it's one of those deals where you sit and reevaluate and say, hey, he can be ready in less than 3 months, or just right now it's about have the surgery, and then let's see where we are when we start walking.
Major on Clayton. Can you kind of take us through what's the process or the discussion, if you even have to have one, on, I think going into Tulane, he was at 2 games, so now he's at 3 played. There things in a perfect world he could have preserved the red shirt, but that conversation that you have to have with him in terms of, if we need you, we're going to have to burn that red shirt.
Yeah, just ready to play, help his team earn an opportunity to play for a conference championship. And that's where his mindset is. We've said it all along, and most everybody has believed it. If you haven't, then you're a believer now. But back in the beginning of June, we said everybody's gonna have to play. We're at that point with our roster. I don't think people listen, but we're at that point with our roster. When you have the turnover that we've had in this football program with 3 different coaches in 4 years, you're going to have turnover, and you're going to have to play. So everybody needs to be ready. We need to coach everybody like they're going to be ready to play. That is the facts. It's easy to have opinion when you have no facts. Those are the facts, and I've watched it for 3 years here. So he is doing everything that he needs to do to be a great football player and help his team win, and that's where his mindset is. And I'm happy that's where it is. It's not on this, that, red shirt, this. It's what do we have to do to beat Memphis.
Major, is there any update on Ed Oliver? It's a short week. Do you think he'll try and play?
Just the same situation that we've had the last few weeks in terms of, getting healthier every week, but it's still day to day. There have been practices in the last 2 or 3 weeks that he's been able to participate in, so I wouldn't think that would be bizarre if he was able to practice, this week. But we're just going to monitor it and look at it day to day.
Has there ever been any thought, like other schools have said, kids that are going to go high in the draft, just to say, hey, we're going to concentrate on the draft? Was there any thought of that at all?
I'm sure he's talked about it, and I'm sure that his family has talked about it, or people have talked to them about it. You know, I told Ed, you know, we've sat down, we've had several conversations, and I see both sides, man. And I'm just telling you exactly the way we talk about it in our office. I see both sides. You're playing for a championship. You got guys you love on your team, and you're going after it, and you want to win a championship. And then you also have spent all this time with your family, years upon years of being an NFL superstar, first-round pick, and everybody's involved in that, not just you, but your family and everybody. And you've worked your butt off for it, and now you're 4 months from it. So I see both sides of it. Just understand this. All I'm focused on is our team. Whatever you decide to do, I'm behind you 100%. I just am focused on my job is to help Houston win football games. And that's all I'm focusing on. So if you want to play it, great. If you don't, you don't. I get both sides. But hell, I have a 2.5-year-old. If I knew he was going to make $35–50 million in 4 months, God, it's hard now. I mean, let's just be honest about the situation. So I want him to feel comfortable. And if he wants to be able to play or can play and he's healthy to play and wants to play, great. If he can't, then we've won games without him before. And that's just the facts of the matter. Again, those are the facts, and those are the things that I'm going off of. And as long as he and I are on the same page, that's all that really matters.
To piggyback on that, Major, you know, I know you're at 2 games, a minimum 2 games left. At this point, does it serve to know, just to come out and say, hey, if I'm going to play, I'm going to play, or if I'm going to choose to go that route that he asked about, to just come out and say to eliminate the distraction, or do you feel like that's even a distraction for the team? It's
not. It's one of those deals, man. I'm telling you, if you were in these walls the way we are as players and coaches, it's not. It's not. I mean, our team is focused on beating Memphis. It may seem like that, you know, on your phone, you're trying to figure it out. It may seem that way, but in here, we're very clear about what we're doing, how we practice, who's going to play, and where we're moving forward. You know, we haven't played as well. I mean, we played a lot better last Thursday, but it has not been the difference in us winning and losing football games. Now, yes, you lose that production on the field because he's a great player, but it has not been something where we're, you know, up in arms trying to figure out is he going to play or not play. We're focused on our opponent, what they do offensively, defensively, special teams, and we move on and we get ready to play them.
And as you look at the quarterback position, does Bryson, I don't know what his status is, does Bryson factor in this week, or is he? Yes. Did he come out all right after the? Yeah,
he's, you know, I continue to monitor Bryson as well. He's one of the guys that kind of banged up in the first half and then didn't feel like we needed to throw him back out there at all in the second half, and just, you know, hurry up and try to get him healthy for this week. But yeah, he can play everything except for O-line and D-line.
Because you mentioned, I guess you mentioned on the conference call a little while ago that you could even go with you know, you got some guys that you could just do direct snaps to. I would imagine him, Marquez, guys like that if you needed to.
I'm not going to tell you which ones.
I tried. The other thing, just with Dormady, also on the call, you had kind of mentioned that there's some possibilities for moving forward with him and how you use them. I guess with 2 games left, he still hasn't reached that threshold as well. So
Correct.
How do you juggle? You know, I guess, is it on a need basis?
He's got 2 games left to not burn his red shirt, so he can play in 2 games. So there's a potential for 3 games in our season. If he was to use the first 2, then he would not want to burn his red shirt, would not be able to play in the 3rd. And that's just, you know, this is the first year we're dealing with it, right? So nobody's perfect. Player, institution, coach, nobody's perfect. These are the first times that we're dealing with these rules. And, you know, trying to make everybody right is what we're trying to do as coaches, and make sure that everybody can play when they need to play, when they earn the right to play, and then when they're trying to redshirt, that they have the opportunity to redshirt and do all those things.
Obviously, week to week, it's always this next game is the most important, but does this week truly at the quarterback position come down to after this game we'll see what's left in front of us, if we have a game in a week or if we have only the bowl game remaining in terms of who might play at quarterback past that?
No, I mean, it's this week. I mean, it's this week. It's this week about Memphis, focused on Memphis, only about Memphis. All those other things are secondary. Those are Saturday, Sunday discussions, and everybody wants to get ready for this one and has the eligibility to get ready for this one and go win this one. That's where our mindset is.
I know you won't talk much about injuries, but with all the large group, is there any of them that you can clear up now? Obviously, King's out. A few of them, either way that you know, certainly now.
I know that Peyton Turner is out, you know, with a foot, and I know that De'Aaron King is out right now. The others are there's could be, could not be, questionable, probable, whatever the word is.
Is Peyton done for the year?
Yes. Yeah. What size pads you wear, big boy? Oh boy.
Major with Grant Stewart. He came in and I think he had like 7 yards of carry. Looked like he was running with the serious aggression.
Yes.
What can you say just about? I mean, again, that's a position that you were going to need to find somebody, and just kind of how you went to him and what you thought.
Well, he played quite a bit of tailback in high school, and you look at his highlight video, and it's a lot of great plays, but there's a lot of it in the return game and at tailback as well. He came up in the hallway. Mentioned it to Coach Briles. Coach Briles then mentioned it to me, and I was like, yeah, you got to see his highlight video. I mean, it's like 50-50 offense, defense. It's incredible. He's like, yeah, I mean, he came up to me in the hallway and hit me up about it, and went to the defensive staff and asked him how much, he's playing and how much they need him. Can we borrow him for 5-10 minutes on the offensive end of practice? He went over there. He's a really smart young man, too, on top of being just crazy speed and physicality out there on the field. He's a very smart football player. So he went over, spent 5-10 minutes first part of practice, another 5 or 10 minutes in the last part of practice, kind of learned his package. And, running the ball is very natural for him. I mean, let's not make it, brain surgery, but it's playing running back. But he's very smart in terms of learning his package, what he's got to do, and he plays with the right kind of emotion to carry the football and provides a spark. And I told him when he came off the sideline, I was like, running like that's how you inspire people. I mean, I could feel it in the stadium. I could hear it. And I was like, that's how you inspire your football team, is how you run it like that. And that's what great backs do. When they lower their shoulders and they run over people and they gain extra yards, it inspires your offensive line, your sideline, your fans, your defense. That's the way you got to run the ball.
If you keep that option, does it just now be offense only, or would you, if you need him back there at his other position, would you go two-way?
Yeah, yeah, he's going to be able to play both ways. He'll play defense and he'll play offense, and then continue to play on special teams. All right, thank y'all. Oh, sorry.
Major Darrell Henderson,
Yep.
and then you look at what Patrick Taylor can also do. It looks like and I guess they're using Tony Pollard now a little bit more to get the ball in his hand. Just what do you see from that? And
it's been leading up to this, with Armstead, with the two backs at Tulane, and then it's now we've finally gotten up to, it's not one, it's not two, there's three. There's three great backs that you've got to get prepared for now. So they've got a tremendous backfield. Their offensive line does an outstanding job as well. White, their quarterback, has done a great job of taking care of the ball. I believe he's either 24 touchdowns and 5 picks or 25 touchdowns and 4 picks. Takes great care of the football. They have playmakers outside. Pop's really good outside, really good in the return game. Leads the country in punt returns. Pollard's also leading the country in kick returns. So dynamic players, and they can score a bunch of points. That's why they're in the top 10 in scoring offense. Defensively, they've played well. When you really look at them at home, I mean, Central Florida's a team that scores a bunch of points. They're really the highest scorer against them at home. I mean, South Alabama had 35, I think, but Central Florida had 31 on them in Memphis. But they're playing great defense, and they're playing, again, it's about how you've been playing the last 2 or 3 weeks. They're playing really good football the last 2 or 3 weeks. Quarterback's making great decisions, and they got a lot of fresh backs. Yep.
Thanks.
All right. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Yep.